Hi, writers. Today we're going to be continuing our nonfiction texts, our books that we're creating. On Monday, we decided to brainstorm and we figured out some nonfiction topics we were going to write about. And today we're going to continue by writing our question and answer books, and we're going to organize our books so that it makes sense to our readers. So here is the question that we're going to be answering today. How do authors of nonfiction organize their texts? What kind of special sections or chapters do they include? So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so here's a chart here that shows how authors organize their information in nonfiction texts. As you can see, there's usually a table of contents, and that keeps everything organized. In our table of contents, since we're doing a question and answer book, we'll have a question, and it'll tell you what page the question will be answered on. We also know that our chapters go from easiest to hardest. So easiest information would be, what is our animal? What do they eat? And the hardest would be really difficult questions like science questions. Are they a vertebrate, an invertebrate? So we'll be looking at that too. You're going to have the big ideas, then our details, which is our headings, and then our details of that. And we're going to have pictures for tricky information, so diagrams will be a part of that. And in a part, subtopics build from one to the other. So we'll show you what I mean. So here's a question and answer book that I found on reptiles. And here's a picture of a turtle, and this is a question and answer book, which is what you boys and girls will be creating today. So let me show you what I mean on this page. Here's a table of contents. Now, as you can see, the first page says meet the reptiles. That's not a question, but that's our introduction. And if you see, there's a bunch of dots, and we go to page 4. Now, here's where our questions start. Do reptiles have backbones? And we know that's on page 6. Are reptiles warm-blooded or cold-blooded? On page 8. What type of body covering do reptiles have? Then I like these questions here. These, I feel like all animals will need this. How do reptiles eat? Where do reptiles live? These are all important. And if you notice, there's always a glossary and there's some more information here. Okay. So now here is page 1 of our question and answer book for the reptiles. And it says, do reptiles have backbones? As you can see, this is our heading. Do reptiles have backbones? And here in this paragraph, it answers the question. Yes, reptiles do have backbones. A backbone is made up of small bones called vertebrae. The backbone is part of a reptile's skeleton. Okay, and as you notice in our question and answer book, questions usually start with these words: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And if it's who, we know who is a person, what is a thing, when is a time, like when do they eat? That would be an important question. Where do they live? That's a place. Why do they eat certain things? And how. Okay, so let's look at the table of contents that I'd like to create with you today. So I want to create a table of contents on fish. So I'm going to go actually look in my question here, who, what, when, where, why, and how, and to help me. And also I like to look at the table of contents of another book, because sometimes looking at other texts really help you. So I'm looking at this, and I like right here where it says, how do reptiles eat? So I'm definitely going to include that in my writing. And I like where do reptiles live. I'm definitely going to include that in my writing. But since it's a fish, I want to start from the beginning. I'm going to say, what is a fish? Okay, that'd be the first thing. Then on the second thing, I would say, I think I'm going to look at eat. And how would I say eat? Who do they eat? What do they eat makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to say, what do they eat? Okay, and then I want to know where, a place. So my question is, oh, look at this one here on this nonfiction, reptiles. It says, where do reptiles live? So I want to know, where do fish live? Boys and girls, you can add a lot more section to this, all the questions that you have that you'd like to answer. Also in your table of contents, please include a diagram, because you're going to be making a diagram in a future lesson, and include a glossary to your table of contents, because we're going to be using that later. But that's not now. Just make sure you include that. Today, what I want you to do is make your table of contents here. Pick your animal that you brainstormed the other day, and you are also going to write here what the topics are. Make sure you look add these charts to help you. This would help you, and we can continue. So get your piece of paper, write this here, and here is your chart to help you, okay? Good luck.